spur of the moment.
Yeah.
I saw him in Wegmans and he's telling me about what his recipe was as well, scurrying at the last minute.
We could never have lamb.
I saw him in Wegmans and he's telling me about what his
Company.
recipe was as well, scurrying at the last minute.
That was it, huh?
That's, nope, we don't do lamb.
Really?
You know, you remember Joe Ho,
Yeah, we,
his wife. She was a Krenzer.
yeah,
They grew up right up
Yeah.
here. And she said that they had ate so much chicken when she was young. And she said that she can't even, now she can't even
Stomach it.
yeah, she won't eat chicken. Cause they ate so much when she was.
they
yeah.
gave a talk on Dorothy Wing and
remember
Janet
Dorothy.
Moore, somebody else. They were talking about up to Frenzer's farm. It was a big process for
You know,
Good evening. Welcome to the December 29th meeting of the Rush Town Board. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And would you call roll, please?
Councilman Crowley,
Here.
Councilman Brown,
here,
Councilman Chase,
here,
Councilman Guys,
Here.
Supervisor Williver,
Here. Oh, I have no announcements. Public comment period. Anyone wishing to speak?
Good evening and Happy New Year. Janet Glocker, resident since 1976. I want to welcome incoming board members, thank outgoing board members, and suggest important agenda items going forward for incoming and continuing board members. Good luck to Lee, Marianne, and David as you begin the residents of Rush. I request enhanced communication between all board members and with residents. In the past, it's been clear that communication between all board members and with town hall staff resulted in poorer outcomes than necessary. Good luck to Dan Williver, Dan Chase, and Jean Morelli, and thank you for your service. Given my interest in solar and economics, I want to single out Jean's accounting and budgeting skills. Jean determined that solar escrow accounts were not being properly used, saving the town tens of thousands of dollars. She secured a $50,000 grant for efforts to secure potable water for some of our residents. She certainly explained the intricacies of the budget process to all of us, but most especially, she worked on and essentially wrote Rush's battery storage law, now copied by a number of other towns. There was another New York State BESS fire 2 weeks ago, again in Warwick, Orange County. BESS is Renewable Energy Storage System. Clearly, Governor Hochul's pronouncement that these huge lithium-ion batteries are now safe is wrong. And New York State's fire policy upgrades are proving to be insufficient. Going forward, after the R20, R30 adjustments are agreed upon, I hope we can turn our attention to upgrading our local solar law. Kudos to Councilman Keyes for his leadership and knowledge in making suggestions to the Code Committee, Amber Corbin, and myself. Thank you all, and a happy and healthy new year to everyone. I'll send this to you and respectfully ask that it become part of tonight's meeting documents.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janet.
Anyone else?
Good evening, John Morelli, 535 Five Points Road. Happy New Year. I wanted to again thank you all, thank the current board for their efforts. And I want to especially thank my wife Jean for her efforts. I know it's been a little difficult and frustrating in trying to get across how things are done in business in a municipality, but that's the way they need to be done. And thank you for your efforts. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Approval of the minutes.
So I can read that. I so move to approve town board minutes of Wednesday, December 10th, 2025, as submitted by Deputy Town Clerk Buchanan. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Councilwoman Morale,
Aye.
Aye.
Councilman Chase,
Aye.
Councilman Patton,
Aye.
Aye. Approval of the abstract. Hopefully, person guys.
Have a move. Reviewed all the vouchers on abstract 12-2 dated December 29th, 2025. Authorized payment totaling $70,954.88, which includes Fund AA General for $338,136.13. DA Highway Townwide for $23,915.33, and HH Capital Projects, $318.50. And LL Library for $8,584.92. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
that's all.
Yep.
Councilwoman Morale,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Chase,
Aye.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Supervisor,
Aye. Board of Officers. Deputy Supervisor Chase.
I have nothing to report. The planning board meeting was canceled for this past month because lack of quorum, so I have no report from there.
Thank you. Councilperson Morale.
So I did attend the Fire Commissioners meeting on December 16th. But I also would like to just talk a little bit about, I spent a little time, we got our report for the end of, this is a town reports, town financials. This is through November. So I took a little bit of time. This could go with a lot, but one thing I did notice, and I'm hoping that those of you two who are remaining and the people who are coming in will take a look at the expenditures for IT in information technology. Now, I'm not saying that they're not necessary or that we shouldn't do it. I'm suggesting that we reach out for some kind of contract. I don't think we have, and maybe we do, and you can correct me, whether it should go out for bid, but year to date, we spent almost $51,000. If you notice that. And there's nothing in the budget, zero for this year.
I believe a bunch of that was from water damage that we just got around to being paid.
So, without having a sub schedule of things that maybe we got some reimbursement through insurance, possibly.
Mhm.
So there's no way of knowing because we never see those things at those accountings. There's never any offsets. Anyway, folks, I'm just going to ramble a little bit here because I got one more opportunity to do so. And, I know you guys can roll your eyes, but here I go. We got to seriously expand how we account for things. Those of you in business know what you got to do and how you need to keep records. And so you can't make the good decisions unless you have the proper information. I've said this over and over again for the last 4 years. You know that.
Mhm.
It's like a broken record, but it's not fixed. Guess what? It's not fixed. I've tried and tried and tried, but I've not gotten the support to make it so. I can't tell people. I don't have the authority to tell people how to do their jobs. I can only complain when they don't do it right. And that I know has not been done right across the board on our accounting. And I got voted in because of my experience, my background. I'm a CPA. I've been doing this a long time. And it's true that my experience is with for-profit companies and the individuals who own them, high net worth individuals who own very large companies in the area. So I think I've seen a few numbers and a few balance sheets. And let me tell you, if we had done anything like the stuff that gets turned in here, we would have been out of business. We've got to get a handle. Anybody, any supervisor, I'm just begging you to use the tools, insist on the tools so that you can make good decisions. And if we don't have a contract for IT services, we need to get one. We need to maybe put it out for bid. At my firm, we have 2 full-time IT people and I rely on them all the time. So I get that we need help. But when you don't have a budget and you don't know whether it's the right one or, the right mix, we periodically have trouble in this room alone.
Mhm.
And I know we had to replace a lot of equipment, a lot of laptops, and I understand that.
Mhm.
I mean, across the board, because, the old Windows, was it 10, 9, whatever?
Okay.
10 phased out and was no longer being supported. I had to replace my own personal laptop. I get it. But did we go out and get a bid? I saw we all approved the vouchers. We replaced a significant amount of laptops this year. And did we get the best price? I have no way of knowing. I have no way of knowing. In the aggregate, replacing as much as we did and spent as much as we did, should we have gotten bids? I believe we should have. When you have a series of transactions that exceed that approval threshold, you have to do it. Years ago, when I started out and when I was an auditor and I audited a municipality and they didn't do that and they got nailed on that point. I found it. You try to slip in a couple of little things and get under the radar, but it's just not right. At any rate, I look at that, it jumps out at me. With regard, and Janet Glocker made mention of this, and thank you for everything, Janet, and your support over these last 4 years been immeasurable, and everybody here, your support has been immeasurable, looking out and seeing all that. But on the issue of the intervenor funds and what the town has available, and I copied you all on this, and no one responds, or no one seems to care what we have or don't care, but you 2 guys should care. Because work is going to start up, I believe, when you're on the board. And what if you need help? Don't you want to know if we have the funds to pay for it? You should. I know you care, Luther, because you care about what happens over there. And we may need help to represent the town and some people to come in and look it over and say, are they adhering to the agreement? Are they doing what's right for the town? Are they doing, what was agreed to for the town of Rush? Does anybody here at this table know? I'm going to say no. Anybody on staff in the town of Rush know? Absolutely not. We have
We're
to
talking
have
about Invenergy, or we're talking about National Grid?
no Invenergy right now.
Invenergy is gonna follow our agreement.
You think?
Absolutely.
I hope so. I
They
think you're right.
absolutely will.
But
If you have any
you know-
problems,
how do you
contact
know?
Todd,
How do you know, Dan? How do you know?
because it's state. The state's got total control over it. And they're not gonna do anything that. You don't listen, so whatever.
Well, in my experience,
Invenergy's gonna do what they said they were gonna do.
I hope you're right. I surely and sincerely hope that that is the case. But if it's not, and if there's problems, we need to know that we can hire somebody. And we do have funds, despite what our budget director said,
We have fresh $25,000
we
escrow
do.
account.
We have that, and that needs to be accounted for. Do you have
That's
you
set up in-
directed a separate accounting to be
That
set up for
right
that?
now, it's currently set up in a New York's class account because we haven't touched it yet.
Segregated?
Absolutely.
But we also received as part of our negotiations, $42,000, $42,729. That was not a reimbursement for funds under the intervenor program.
That part of it was used to cover legal fees that we had.
That's
accrued.
right, 22,000. That leaves a balance of roughly 15,000 and some odd change. And that has not been proven otherwise to me, to my satisfaction. There has been no accounting for it, but I want the new people, I want the people to understand there is money available that's not taxpayer generated to help the town if they need it. It's there, believe it's there, and don't take anything else for an answer.
It cannot be used to fight Invenergy. It can be used to monitor.
We can use it for that. We can
To make
hire
sure-
our own monitors.
To make sure they're doing what they said they were gonna do.
Yeah,
That can be used for that.
okay. I'm just saying, I want it known that we have money there.
And it's up to $75,000.
Thank you, plus the
And
15,
$25.
plus the 15.
Janice, I don't know about that.
She's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's wrong. I've said it in numerous emails to you guys. And no one comes back to say anything to me about, oh, really? Or what? Or, you want the detail? I'll come in with a stack of detail. And it agrees with what New York State says as well, by the way. I just want it on record. So I hope this gets recorded
Perhaps you could come
and made a
and
part
have a meeting
of
with her and
the
get it
minutes of
straightened
this
out.
town board. You all heard it. I told
Perhaps you
you,
could come in and talk with Janice because,
I will be glad to do that.
well, you should set something up before you're done.
So
As possible.
it may not happen this week. I've got therapy, I've got things going on. And
But
the
that,
31st is
that probably
coming
could have happened a
quickly.
while ago. I know you've been struggling with it. I don't. She tells
But
me
the
it's
approval
gone
is still
and
there.
you say it's there. Unless you can come in and explain it.
I guess, why are you taking that person?
I didn't hire her, but she does the accounts. I don't know.
Or not? And I'd be glad to come in
Perfect.
and do that and go through it with her. And the ins and
Then-
outs and the monies that we got and and submitted, got reimbursed what was left, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down.
Perfect.
I've done it
Perfect.
and I don't get paid to do that. We got a full-time person, but no, can't do that. Anyway, I'm getting close. I'm getting close.
Yeah,
I'll be in
keep rolling.
at some point. Thank you for not shutting me off. Not that you could, but I would. I think I've said the things I want to say. But actually and I wrote a little bit, just a little thing. I didn't write a whole dissertation, but I'm saying, and I'll read it. It's been an interesting 4 years and a privilege, despite my whining on occasion. It really has been a privilege to have served on this town board for the town of Rush during this time. It meant a lot to me to be able to do this. I tried to act on behalf of the residents of the town of Rush. I tried to create more transparency during this time. I am still concerned about the budget, though, and I hope that as the year progresses, things will always be reported on a transparent basis to the residents of the town of Rush. I believe the new administration will have a challenge, actually, to stay on budget with rising costs and the fact that they were left with less of a fund balance than previous administrations. We use a lot of money to keep tax rates low. We use a lot of our resources. And now that they're going to have less to do things that need to be done in this town. They got to figure it out. It's not going to be easy. I believe they're going to have to address expenses in order to keep taxes down. That's their challenge. I will contribute in any way I can. Please know this. If I can help, just ask. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Kais.
I went to the fire commissioners meeting as well this month. Yeah. And it was interesting. They are gonna go with a full-time maintenance person over there. And so we'll see how that works out for him. With all the different meetings that we had in that little time slot, I forgot about the conservation board and I did not make it. I apologize for that. And I'd like to say that over the past 2 years, I've enjoyed working with everybody on the town board here. And while we all have difference of opinions, I think in general we've all tried to work a betterment for the town. And thick or thin, and I believe we've done a good job for them overall. Maybe not perfect, but we tried. And that's what counts. Even a new board coming on, we're gonna try to do a good job for everybody. So I'd like to say thank you, working with you. Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Brown.
Nothing to report other than I wish you all the best and enjoy your extra free time now. So
Thank you.
it's been interesting, but
Pam.
agree with Luther. Did what we could.
Yeah.
They've, the resignation of Bill Chase. Bill Chase was with the town of Rush for 47 years, has many job duties. He's currently closing the town hall, but I think he should be commended in doing all that and closing the town hall every single night, making sure we were secure. So I just wanted to congratulate him on a long stint at the town. I have received, on the other note, I've received the warrant to collect taxes. And the town of Rush has to collect $1,895,405. But the county taxes of that are $3,503,894.08. So it is a total of $5,399,298.08. So just wanted to let everyone know the flex of how our town and how our county taxes go. Is all that I had to, I did want to just mention, that although our IT department and it's expensive, but thankfully we moved all of our IT equipment finally from the basement up to a sound room. And that was, part and part because the flood. And I think it will get reimbursed, so I'm not sure where that number exactly came from. But they've been with the town for over 27 years, so they know the ins and outs. And as far as a contract, they are an hourly thing. So I think the new board should just look at it and do a comparison, but also know that we get our phone system with them as well at a cheaper rate than what we had before. So they're giving us good service. That's it.
Thank you. Kevin?
I don't have an official report, but it's been a pleasure certainly working with you and the rest of the board members. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure and an honor to be able to work and assist the town and just wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you. I really have nothing to report, except it's been an interesting couple of years. I think we got a lot of work done. No more to do, but there always will be.
Yeah.
And it's been interesting. Moving on to old business. Resolution to approve the electrical work in barn number 7. At this point, we've knocked it down as low as we can. It's basically installing lights and some electric plugs in where the horses are. It's more of a safety thing than anything else. We got it down to $2,800, which I could okay to do on my own, but I'd like to have the board okay it. If they think it's.
Is that covered by the grant?
Pardon?
Covered by the grant?
No, this has become out of recreational capital fund.
But it sounds like, from what I understood from the emails that we had gotten, is that it was a bit of a safety issue, the way that it was being powered for both people and the animals.
There's 2 plugs in there, and they run extension cords to lights attached along the way, along the stalls.
Yeah.
And taking the horses in when it's dark is not,
So this is pretty
Not a-
cheap insurance, in my opinion.
yeah, it's,
Mhm.
there could be a problem.
Yep.
And that's a switch at either end to turn the lights on and plugs available if they need anything.
I agree.
All right.
I mean,
So I so move to approve the electrical work to barn 7 at White Springs Farm, 6565 East River Road, Rush, New York by Dr. Watson Electric, 130 Lyons Road, Rush, New York, for an amount of $2,851. Do I have a second?
No second.
Molly,
Aye.
Aye.
Chase,
Aye.
McBride,
No,
as a note, we put out an RFP for all the electrical work over there, and Doc Watson was the only one that responded. And he reworked the bid twice or 3 times for me, so the copy that we have is just, if you okay it, I'll give you a good contract, but if you're blowing me off, I don't care. So. We need a resolution authorizing the town attorney to enter into the settlement agreement with Mrs. Weaver finally. This has been going on since 2018. This will carry us through 2028. Mrs. Weaver always contests her assessment, and this will settle things up and get it done and finished and closed out. And
Basically, what we had discussed a few months ago in executive session, the figures are all the same. It was just simply getting everything down into a written agreement. Took a little while to get the actual agreement itself. For the council, but once we got it, there was a little bit of back and forth on this wordsmithing, but nothing changed the economics. So the good news is we've resolved the past years and established enough to be set for the next 3, so we don't have to worry about this. At least a few times. It was just basically just making sure that we paid what had been agreed to.
It's wild. It was allowed to get kicked down the road for so long.
I
Well,
Kept
agree.
alive.
yeah,
That was it's really surprising
Yeah.
thing.
It's something that certainly, can be better managed and kind of stay on top of, so it never gets to the point where we've got so many years of dispute. It just makes it a little bit harder.
I mean, I'm just glad that Amy kind of, when she came in, kind of
Yeah.
said, wait, no, this is
yeah.
where the buck stops here. We're cleaning it up. And I'm pretty sure that if it hadn't, I mean, that was the game that was getting played. It was gonna keep getting kicked down the road
And it
and
was.
keep extending it. It was,
Not some good-
yes, exactly.
It would have continued, but for Amy's efforts to certainly try to stop it and draw a line and say it, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Which I think has been done, and I think it's done, certainly a way that was fair.
Mrs. Weaver always paid her taxes on time, but she always contested the assessment,
Hmm.
and it's been going on for 10 years. So with the new assessment, with all the different assessments, we're the town, because she paid in advance, we're gonna be owing her like $2,000, which is reasonable and
Cheaper than
it'll be
going to
done.
court.
Yeah,
Yeah.
going to court, we were looking at 30 grand anyway.
Yeah.
Or more. So,
Is that dollar bill you listening to?
No.
It's just a reference to the agreement itself, if you're in the public record, you typically don't put all the terms in the resolution. For the settlement agreement, it's certainly, it's a form thought, but it doesn't. And again, this is something that, quite honestly, that if it wasn't this administration's last meeting, it would be something that could be done in executive session, litigation, but I didn't think that would be an appropriate time to have executive session. And again, this is a public,
Yeah.
For the document, and I don't think
Yeah.
there's no litigation aspect discussed in executive session, but normally this would be something that we done in executive session, resolution. The minutes will be last, don't have that executive session.
Yeah, I'm glad we got it resolved, honestly, when we saw the numbers but I
Yeah.
think we were all really surprised by how long it was going on. None of us had any idea. So we're glad to get it done.
So Kevin,
Yeah.
I'll read this resolution, but this is the actual agreement with settlement. I don't have to read that. I just have to read
Just
these.
the equivalent,
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Okay. Stipulation and order in settlement with Patricia Weaver. I so move, whereas Mrs. Weaver commenced tax certiorari proceedings under, I probably butchered that, but you guys figure that out. Under real property tax law, Article 7, challenging the assessment of the real property located at 300 Roswell Lane in the town of Rush, County of Monroe, State of New York, for the years 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025 tax years. Hereinafter, the complaint. Whereas the parties have engaged in settlement discussions and have agreed to fully resolve their differences without further litigation upon the terms and proposed stipulations and orders of settlement for all pending proceedings, and whereas special counsel handling the complaint for the town has recommended the settlement of the complaint, and based on such recommendation, the town board desires to authorize the stipulation and order. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby approves the proposed settlement of the complaint and authorizes the town attorney to execute and deliver the stipulation and order. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Go ahead.
Councilman Morale,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Chase.
Aye.
Councilman Hayes,
Aye.
Hi. We need a resolution to designate Tuesday, Friday, January 2nd to be observed as a floating holiday on the 2026 calendar.
I have just one question on this. I talked with DJ, he wanted to be here tonight and speak on this, but obviously the weather isn't permitting that. He was a little concerned this wasn't something that was brought up to him, and I don't think necessarily opposed to having a day off, but where he has a little bit of a problem with it is this time of year and getting a day off on this short of notice. If his guys do have to go out and plow snow, they're getting paid time and a half,
Double time.
double time. He said time and a half. You sure? It could be, if you would
It would be holiday pay, so it'd be double.
double time. So his concern is, he just felt maybe a little blindsided on this. He didn't see anything. He didn't have any input on this day off. I know some of the times the guys get a floating holiday where they can pick them. I think typically in the organizational meetings, that's when we identify those floating holidays. And a lot of times they prefer to have them in the summertime because
They generally,
they know they're not gonna have to go out and plow, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit more fiscally responsible for the town, but I don't know what the rest of the board. I don't know if any of the other department heads or anybody was talked to about this prior to the decision. I mean, we're making the decision, but I mean, I don't know what the feeling is from the rest of the department heads or anything like that on this one.
Supervisor Wilbur had, suggested of incoming, supervisor, that
Yeah.
that be a holiday.
Okay,
So that's why it's on the agenda,
okay,
but it wasn't discussed in any other form,
okay.
go ahead, Lee.
but it. Want to
Come up to the microphone.
For the vote for the report. So thank
You mentioned Spinnaker Road brush,
Mhm.
and considering that, we weren't aware that the town already had 3 floating holidays. And I would like to ask the town not to pass this. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, it was, I don't know, it was something that was brought up, so. I just,
Yeah, I did talk to DJ as well, because didn't know what was going on with it. And it was the same conversation basically, is that they're not opposed to an extra day off, but it was just the communication needs to be there. As far as, you
yeah,
know,
and I think he was a little concerned about, I mean, just,
The
you
holiday.
don't know every year, but he's like, looking at the forecast right now.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for that.
It's,
Chances are we'd be paying
Yeah.
yeah,
holiday pay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say floating, but I agree. No one else has the day off. You
Yeah.
know, the county, the surrounding towns.
Well, he asked me to do that. Now we
Yeah.
don't want to do that, so it's out.
So we're just not gonna make that up. Okay.
Upcoming meetings, Conservation Board, the 8th, zoning the 15th, Planning Board on the 27th, and having conducted all the town's business for the year, make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye. Happy New Year.
Everybody.
Good luck.
you don't want to take this home and burn it.
Yeah, might as well take it home.
Yes, I could.
Sooner.
You can do it that. Thank you.
It's easy, they just gotta